kind of scanning the crowd and looking, and I see him. I see the beautiful bald head, total like black, get up he's got on. And I'm like, he's here. So I wanted to tell you this story today. Right before COVID, I was on a tour with Eric Hutchinson and my great friend Grady Kennevan. And I've been with Eric Hutchinson for about the past 6 years. He's a wonderful friend, a wonderful boss, wonderful artist. And we went out on this trio tour, right? Because our normal guitar player wasn't available. And Eric said to me, hey, I want you to play all of the leads on bass. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, all the guitar solo moments or like keys solo moments, take them all on bass. Could you do that? And I was like, could I do that? And I was terrified. But then I said like, yeah, what a fun challenge that would be. And of course, it was an incredible challenge, but it was something that I was really excited about doing, right? So entering the tour, I'm playing all the guitar solos on the bass guitar. How weird is that? I'm kicking on fuzzes, right? I'm running out to the front of the stage like with a wireless on my bass and playing these guitar solo moments. I tell you, it gave me a ton of respect for lead instruments, right? Stepping out and taking a solo at the front of the stage, like making eye contact and trying to be part of the show, that's not something that I was used to. And as bass players, probably not something a lot of us are used to. So it was terrifying, but I was excited about it and I got over it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, am I good enough to do this? And I worked really hard and I thought, yeah, I think I am. I think I'm gonna be good enough to do this. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Ended up having a ton of fun. Cut to the end of the tour. Right before the world shut down for COVID, we were playing in Los Angeles, playing at the Troubadour. As a result of Instagram and SBL, I've made a bunch of friends in the bass community and one friend, Steve Jenkins. You know Steve Jenkins? An unbelievable bass player, technician, musician, dude, all of it, right? And he was like, hey, I want to come to your show at the Troubadour. And I was like, amazing. I immediately felt two things. I felt like, oh, that is so cool that he wants to come see the show. And then I felt dread. Because of imposter syndrome, I'm gonna be in LA. I'm gonna be in this storied room, the Troubadour. Maybe there are gonna be people that are gonna come out and see the show. People that I've, made friends with via Instagram, or I've been in my little studio making content. Can I do it live? Will I screw it up live? Do they think I'm just an Instagram bass player? All these things, all these doubts, just creeping into my mind. Steve's a cool guy. He's probably going to enjoy it. Oh, but what if he doesn't? And of course, none of this is about Steve. It's about me. It's about my insecurities. So we come out of the green room, which is upstairs, and we come down these stairs, and I'm kind of scanning the crowd and looking, is Steve? And I see him. I see the beautiful bald head, total like black, get up he's got on. And I'm like, he's here. Well, here we go. And again, it's that duality. I felt really excited, but also really nervous. And do you know that thing where if you're playing in front of someone, you're at a gig, you're in the studio and someone comes in that maybe you respect? Do you ever have that feeling that you're just like overthinking every note? I was thinking about every note, every pedal push, every step I took. And I mean, I'm not proud to admit that. I wish I had the self-confidence to be like, oh, look, hey, Steve Jenkins is in the house. This is amazing. And it makes me play even better. But oh man, I let it get to me, right? I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if he thought that was cool. And I mean, look, I am someone who makes his living playing the bass guitar, sessions, touring. I should think of myself as like, oh yeah, this is just gonna be fun. But I was racked with self-doubt and imposter syndrome. It's exhausting. I play the gig, get done, and it went fine. It was fine. I found Steve in the crowd, and he was, of course, very nice and said like, oh man, that was really cool. And I said, I have to level with you. I was terrified. Like, I love that you were here, but also like, I hated that you were here because I was just thinking about every single thing. And he said, really? And I said, yes, I know that that's not, cool, but that's just how I felt. And he said, hey, let me tell you something. And then he blew my mind and told me something that I have been thinking about probably at least once a day ever since. He said, look, man, you're Thor and I'm Wolverine. I'm not mad that you have the hammer and you're not mad that I have the claws. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, I think I do. I was like, Steve Jenkins, are you calling me a superhero of the base? Like, I just gave him a big hug. It's like, dude, that is beautiful. And what a thought. Think about that. That speaks to your individuality. That speaks to charisma, talent, self-belief, self-worth, right? If you think of yourself and as your peers as superheroes, all superheroes aren't alike. And if you think about it, the story of the superhero is they're not sitting pining away for the other power. They're confident and wrestling with their own power. This brings me to my next thought. How do you decide that you're a superhero? How do you decide that your voice is worth hearing? How do you decide that your perspective is what's interesting? Not the brand or year of instrument. I'm talking to myself here as well, okay? This isn't just for you. This is for me too. How do I decide that a 68 beat up jazz bass isn't the thing that defines me? It's how I play it. And if I'm not as fast as Steve Jenkins, right? Or if I don't have the incredible double thumb technique of Victor Wooten, it's okay. What do I have? And that leads me to tell you about my other friend, Jonathan Marin, another incredible bass player who we were talking about this once over the phone. And he said to me something that I think about all the time too. Typically, the thing that you feel the most vulnerable about, or that you're trying to hide from the world, it's actually your voice. The thing that you're feeling vulnerable about, right? That you feel scared about, that you feel ashamed of, embarrassed about. If you can figure out a way to take that and turn that forward and push it this way, that is your voice. I'll give you an example. For me, I love playing synth sounds on the electric bass, but I didn't always talk about it in a flattering way. I used to kind of be self-deprecating about it because I thought I should probably just get a Moog, right? Or I should probably get good at keys and do it that way. And so I would go into sessions, into gigs, and I could say, well, I could turn on this pedal and do kind of a B-rate version of this thing, and probably then we'd replace it with real keys, because I'm not really, imposter syndrome, self-doubt. When Jonathan told me that, I thought, wow, that's actually an aspect of my playing that I really do love. What if instead of kind of hedging it and talking down about it, what if I just decide to talk about it like I love it? Would that maybe even help me love it? What if I talked about it in a way that felt confident? Would that maybe make me start to feel more confident? And guess what? Yes. Think about the thing that is inside of you that is your superpower. Maybe it's something that you feel self-conscious about, right? Maybe it's something that you feel ashamed of. Where'd you grow up? What kind of music did you like when you grew up? Is it time to look at that stuff? Embrace that stuff? Is that your voice? Are you hiding your voice? I can tell you this right now, that if you do a bit of this soul searching, find that thing inside of you that you feel kind of I don't know, double down on it, turn it outward, start to talk about it. That is going to help you find your voice, and that is going to help you manage, not necessarily eliminate, but that's not what we're here to do. I don't have the magic pill. It's going to help you manage your imposter syndrome, and it's going to help us see you and your perspective, and that is what it is all about. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have found it valuable. Let's talk about it. Let's get a dialogue going. I love this community. I think it can be an incredible and supportive community. So I'll see you in the comment section below.